chances are extremely high that you are deficient in at least one of these nutrients I'm about to discuss. Some people are likely to be low in all of them, and if you're one of those people, then your metabolism has surely taken a fall. The great news, though, is this means you can easily correct the deficiencies and improve your metabolism. The first nutrient is iodine. Iodine deficiency affects more than 2.2 billion people worldwide. There are a couple of reasons why it has gotten so bad. Until recently, about 25% of iodine in the diet was from wheat because iodine was used in the processing of flour. Now most of it is processed with bromide. What makes it even worse is that bromide inhibits the activity of iodine that's already in your body. The same goes for the other halogens, fluoride and chlorine, which are both in our water supply. From 1971 to 2011, iodine intakes in the US dropped by 50%. Iodine plays a key role in the production of thyroid hormones. Every cell in the body depends on these hormones for the regulation of their metabolism. Increased thyroid hormone levels stimulate fat mobilization and almost all aspects of carbohydrate metabolism. Like in my previous video on sodium, I recommend a good iodized sea salt. There aren't many foods that naturally contain iodine. As far as supplements go, nascent iodine is the most bioavailable form. But there is controversy about this free-form iodine actually remaining a singular atom by the time you take it. You may just be paying big bucks for a nascent iodine that's actually potassium or sodium iodide. I use the potassium iodide product pictured here. Next up is vitamin D. About half of all Americans are deficient in vitamin D. This is a lot like iodine in the fact that we don't usually get much from our diet. Sunshine is the best source, and that's just not reliable to many people geographically. Vitamin D helps the body absorb weight loss nutrients while also optimizing the efficiency of our metabolism. On top of that, when vitamin D is low, hormones signal for more fat storage. Now, you can get a little bit of vitamin D from fatty fish and fortified foods. The only vitamin D that I eat comes from beef liver. Since natural sources of vitamin D are so scarce, the supplements are almost essential for those living far from the equator. And I recommend a liposomal spray of vitamin D with vitamin K2. This is the most effective combination of vitamins and the best absorbed form. Take it with meals containing fats as they are fat soluble. Next, we have the extremely important magnesium. Up to 50% of Americans are magnesium deficient. To make matters worse, vitamin D can't be metabolized without sufficient levels of magnesium, which means vitamin D stays stored and inactive for 50% of Americans. Which also means don't even waste your time with the previous section if you ignore this one. Magnesium plays a major role in controlling blood glucose homeostasis and improves insulin sensitivity. It's a required cofactor for over 300 enzymatic reactions. There is no doubt that magnesium is a key player in metabolism. The best foods for magnesium are raw cacao, avocados, spinach, and leafy greens. Dark chocolate is fine too, but raw cacao is healthier for many other reasons. The best supplement form of magnesium is the magnesium glycinate. For one, it's the most bioavailable, but secondly, it doesn't give you that laxative effect that many of the other forms do. I prefer the powder form here because you are taking such a large amount of this macronutrient. At 400 milligrams, a powder is much easier, I think, than taking, 3 pills, 4 pills each time. So if you're all good there, the final thing to look at would be zinc. This one is interesting because many people actually do eat enough zinc, but they don't absorb it. This is due to how sensitive it is to all the other factors going on. Things like phytic acid from cereals, nuts, beans, wheat, they can bind with zinc and impair absorption. Zinc also competes with calcium, magnesium, and iron for the same receptors. So if you're taking high levels of any of those other minerals, zinc may not get absorbed at that time. Deficiency in zinc results in a drop of metabolic rate. Zinc-dependent messenger RNA is needed to synthesize the enzymes required for carbohydrate metabolism, so zinc deficiency may result in a lack of these enzymes. Zinc may also interact with insulin by controlling the uptake of glucose by fat cells. Zinc deficiency results in impaired carbohydrate metabolism. So the best ways to get this from food would be red meats, shellfish, and oysters. Oysters pack the biggest punch at 74 milligrams per 3 ounces. Most other zinc foods have phytic acid, which isn't ideal for absorption. The most bioavailable supplement is the zinc orotate form. Orotate salts, being neutrally charged, easily pass through cell membranes. Zinc bound to glycine is also a decent option, and these will generally be labeled as chelated zinc. One other thing to consider when you're taking high amounts of zinc is that it can lower your levels of copper. So I'd recommend taking 2 milligram copper supplement with your zinc. So there you have it. Chances are very high that you are lacking in at least one of these nutrients, and they can be easily fixed. If you're struggling with weight, I would try to get these deficiencies in order before anything else. If this was a help to you, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Live well, everyone.